this is definitely a pump-up song for, like, hockey. NHL starts tomorrow. We got exciting news. We'll talk a little bit about that from me and Nick Menken as well. You guys should be excited about. Also, we got playoff baseball tonight. Playoffs. Playoff baseball tonight. 2 NLDS games, and then we have a Monday Night Football game on. So that's it for action, though. We got 2 baseball games and a Monday Night Football game to talk about. It's just Nick and I today. So hit the like button. Drop in the comment section. It's a great time to pick Nick's brain on anything and anything. You don't have anything premium wise going tonight or anything big? What do you got going tonight?
We coming off a nice NFL sweep, back-to-back sweeps there. We're 6-0 in our last 6 plays, up over $2,400. So taking a step back here today, we have 1 play on the board, and it is in the night game against the Chicago Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers there. Anything else, I took a step back passing today, but hey, we got NHL regular season tomorrow. I'm jacked up here doing some homework beforehand. And it's time to get into hockey too. Hockey, NBA, we're rolling deep here.
I like it. And by the way, great weekend from you for football. So
thank you.
I forget I have new little tools and sound bites, all kinds of sound bites, folks, for me to choose from. I mean, I also have a boo, that I could add. So I mean, don't have a bad me yesterday. Not a great yesterday. I was more of this. And that was me yesterday. But I did have a good Saturday. So it was kind of I think I got a little too tricky Sunday. Is what I just outthought myself is what I did. So but we let me pay some bills real quick. Don't forget about the free $60 account. Link is in the description of the video. If you're new to Doc Sports and you have not been over to the website, now is a great time to use this free $60 account. The link's in the description of the video, but you can go right over to docsports.com/free60. You could just go to docsports.com. There's a tab at the top, free 60. Like, anybody could find it. You head over there, use that free 60 on any handicapper you want premium plays. Split that up on between 2 handicappers, or prop packages are available, or a week pass, season pass. It's the same as cash. Use it however you want, $60. I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you guys, YouTube Premium, levels 1, $4.99. That's me and my madness and teasers and props and this, that, and whatever. We're outside the box for sure. Level 2 is Indian Cowboy, $19.99. Level 3 is $49.99. There's the link in the description. Tells you all about it. Click it. I don't want to sound like an infomercial. Docs Daily, we're here Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern. That Saturday show gets live in full effect Saturdays at 11 a.m. So,
Monday morning, folks.
Monday morning, coffee's involved. My Lions, what were the biggest bets for you yesterday? What did you win on? Because my Lions were the only good thing about yesterday. Tigers lost, kind of saw it coming when everybody and their brother was on Tarek Skubal. Hard not to be. He's the best pitcher in the world. But you still got to produce runs. If you don't score runs, you can't win the game. That's Detroit Lenny math right there for you.
My 3 plays yesterday on the premium side, my 7 units, that was on the Denver Broncos there. I had a plus 3.5 early on. It was 17-3. I was holding my breath there, but the defense from both sides, even the Eagles, really stopped up in that first half. They played great defense through the whole entire first half. Can't say nothing bad about it. Obviously, Jalen Hurts found Smith there down the field early in that game right before halftime. He connected. Wasn't expecting Jalen Hurts to throw as much as he did. I believe through halftime, Saquon Barkley only had 5 attempts on the rush. So, you got to tip your cap to Jalen Hurts, but they just didn't do enough there. They fell away from their run game, which I was expecting on in Denver. It was a good answer by Bo Nix there. And finally, J.K. Dobbins took over, got in the end zone. In the Denver Broncos keep the 3.5 points. They won against the Eagles there, giving them their first loss. Didn't expect that. I did expect the Eagles to win probably by a field goal in crunch time last second. But hey, I'm not complaining about an outright winner. And then my next game was the New Orleans Saints.
That was a
Griffin
good
and
game.
Griffin had a top play on this, and we both
Yeah.
talked earlier on in the week, why are the Saints -2 here? And we looked at the public betting, and 90% were on the New York Giants coming into this one. So I knew it was a massive trap on that side. I actually took the Saints on the money line there. Didn't want to mess around with the -2 points there on the spread. And they looked bad early, but Spencer Rattler hit some plays down the field. He had that massive 85-yard touchdown pass, so we cashed in that one. And then my last game on my card on the NFL side of things, I had the Washington Commanders. I felt very good because I knew Jaden Daniels was going to play this week, and I was high on him. And I was high on him because the public was going to be all over the Chargers, especially losing against the New York Giants. And they came to play. I know the offense for the Washington Commanders isn't the problem. It is the defense, and they stepped up in a big way in Los Angeles there. So you got to tip your cap as well to the Washington Commanders. Good to see that team come away with a win on the road, and Jalen Daniels obviously looks great.
Nice. I was afraid to get on the Saints game because it's hard to trust them to do anything.
They haven't won a game.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I saw what you saw and every point you made, and I was like, even still, like, both teams are bad teams, the Giants and the Saints. I do think Jackson Dart is the future there. I think he can be a good quarterback. Spencer Rattler, I don't care that they scored. He's not an NFL quarterback. I am not bought in with him at all.
I'm so with him. I feel like he just needs a little bit more time. He needs a couple playmakers there, and we'll see what he could do. I mean, obviously, got Kellen Moore in his system and what he likes to run there. So, give him time. What I saw out of him on Sunday, it was great to see. But could he maintain that throughout a whole entire season? He needs playmakers around him. I'm still iffy on him. I know you don't like him that much there, Lenny, but we'll see what he does.
Yeah. The Chargers, I ain't gonna lie, I was as public could get on that. And sometimes you look back and you reflect on Monday and you're like, dude, you couldn't have been any more square public if you tried. But to be fair, I mean, I was on the Chargers for like 7 days. I had bet the Chargers early in the week. I had bet the Chargers. It would have been my Circus Survivor pick. I was planning on maybe that was a top 3 pick for me. Was going to be the Chargers pick. So I know, I'm just going to chalk week 5 up as a bad week for me. I did not see it right because I also had the Rams on Thursday night. So I should have known then that it was just going to be a bad weekend for me NFL wise.
And that game was tricky too, Lenny. And if you look back at it, you know that the 49ers, they lost that game to Jacksonville, but they were playing. It was a quick turnaround on Thursday Night Football. And that's why I thought it was going to be a trap game. Divisional opponent. You had the 49ers here. Everybody's doubting them because of Mac Jones and the defense and the injuries. Too many variables came into that game for me. So I knew it was going to be way too tricky there, especially coming off that loss to Jacksonville. Now you got to play the Rams, who everybody in their right minds probably took the Rams. I mean, I thought they were going to win the game, and the 49ers ended up winning that game outright.
That was nuts. I got a picture here because I tracked some stuff here. And for the Circus Survivor, where's the picture right now?
I bet you a lot lost on the Eagles too this week.
So here was so the Rams were 28.4% of the pool. 3,524 people, 3,524 people had the Rams in the Circus Survivor pick that lost. So that's a huge amount to erase. It's the most they've ever, the biggest loss ever in that contest. It was that. So at least I was part of that. I'm part of a record. At least I was one of 3,524 entries. I was one of those. The other big loss was the Bills, 756 entries, 6% of the field. 99 entries had the Saints. That was ballsy, I thought. Chargers.
How many people had the Giants?
22, less than 1%. So yeah, they're just as nuts. Chargers though, less than 1%. It was really top heavy between the Rams, Cardinals, Colts, Lions, Bills, and then the Vikings. I don't know why anybody's taking London games. I don't. That's just ridiculous. And by the way, shout out to the 5 people that did not pick. Still, I mean, I don't understand that.
They didn't put a pick
no
in.
pick,
So
no pick. They no picked it. Week 4, there was a
just
record.
not being disciplined right there, Lenny.
Week 4, 24 people did not pick. 24. I shouldn't say 24 people. 24 entries. That could have been one person with 10 entries, one person with 10 entries, and one person with 4. It could have been as low as 3 people, but anyways, we do have Monday Night Football. Let's talk a little Monday Night Football. Chiefs Jaguars. Do we believe that the Chiefs are, shall we say, back? I don't believe the Jaguars are I don't think they're a good team. I don't think they're a 3-1 team. I think their record is kind of full. I keep in mind, I had a horrible NFL weekend. I don't have anything bet on this game side total wise. If anything, I'm going to do a teaser, probably Chiefs in the over. Okay. And again, that's public and square. I feel like that's public and square. I mean,
I'm on Lenny, and I'm on the
0.
complete. You gave out those 2 plays, the Chiefs and the over. I'm on the Jags here plus the points
and the under. Yeah, see, that's a winner.
I mean, the value is, I believe, on this Jacksonville Jaguars team. They're coming off a nice win, just like you said, 3-1. Now they get Monday Night Football here on their home field, and you got the Chiefs coming in. Obviously, they had a great game against, who was that? The Baltimore Ravens there last week.
Yeah.
Was it against the Ravens?
Yep.
It was
the
against
Ravens.
the Ravens.
They beat them 37-20, but that might not be a great win in hindsight because the Ravens look like just ass.
Exactly. And I like ETN. I think he's going to be a big part of the success here for Jacksonville tonight. You got to establish that run game for Trevor Lawrence. And I would look to go over his yardage here. I am seeing 75 in his over-unders. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Lenny. I saw it earlier on today, but I like his over rushing yards in this game. I think he's going to be used a lot to establish this run game on this front line.
Now, would you go rushing, receiving, or just rushing? Rushing yards. You could get 60. Shop your lines. I tell you this all the time, folks. Anywhere from 63.5 to 65.5. So, don't take the 65.5 if you don't have to. Why put yourself in that position? But most places, 64.5.
64, yeah, I definitely. And then what's his receiving and rushing combined there? Because he's going to be used out of the backfield. There's no question about it.
80.5.
80.5. All right. So
most places.
And 17.
There's one dumbass book out here that has 76.5, but most places, and one has 81.5, but most places are 80.5. So.
Yeah, he's almost, ETN's almost at 400 yards here on the season. He's almost averaging 100 yards here, obviously, per game. So I like the over 64.5 on the ground game. He's averaging 6 yards per carry. I love that over. Love the over on his rushing.
All right. I like that. I'll get down with that. Yeah, see, I would have went. I'm just telling you. Then the public has kind of eaten all year from the NFL. Now I don't say all year, but in some spots. And sometimes I try to ride we talk about the trend is your friend. Well, sometimes the public eats, sometimes the book eats, and the public just dies.
The public, I would think the public ate on the Indianapolis Colts this week.
I would imagine they ate. Who the hell was betting the Raiders?
Right.
Shout out to anybody if you had balls enough to do that. Me, I found a way to lose on that game and be on the right side. I took the kicker props over. I took them over 8.5 kicking points. The guy's had like 14 points the last 2 weeks. He's just a stud. And then what's he do? First extra point, his knees hurt. He
ran right into him though.
I know. It was the football gods just said, stop, Lenny. Just said, stop. You're not going to win a damn thing this weekend on NFL. And so it is what it is. So And I'm not good. I don't want to void on that bet. It is what it is. I lost my bet. You know, I'm a grown man. I lost my bet. But that's not a bad prop. I like the Travis Etienne. I think the Chiefs have got now opportunity with the Xavier Worthy back and stuff to extend the field a little bit. And Patrick Mahomes does Patrick Mahomes things on prime time. I think this is a closer game. I like the over. I think both teams, like, this is a 27-24 game for me. You know what I mean?
The only thing that has me questioning these Kansas City Chiefs is, did you know who they playing next week, Tony or Lenny? I almost call you Tony.
You call me Tony, I'll punch you in the face.
The Kansas City Chiefs are playing the Detroit Lions.
That's right, baby.
So be very cautious. Prime time game. Public money is going to be all over Kansas City here. But this could be a sandwich spot, just like that 49ers game. And we had Jacksonville as our 7 unit. And they won that game outright. Why? Because the 49ers in that sandwich spot were looking ahead to Thursday against the Rams. Same situation here for the Kansas City Chiefs. They know who they're dealing with next week on a short week, because obviously they're playing here Monday night. They got the Sunday night game here next week against the Detroit Lions at home. That is a marquee matchup here. Don't be surprised if Kansas City here is looking ahead to next week. Not saying they're not going to be competitive in this one, but Jacksonville has a little more to play with here this week than Kansas City.
Can I tell you right now, the opening line on that Lions-Chiefs game is the Chiefs. Now, it's in Arrowhead, which is a big deal. That's a tough place to play. But that Chiefs line is -1, 1.5 in some spots. I'll wait. Because there'll be some Lion money coming in. But
it's gonna be a good
if
game.
I can get the Lions right now at 1.5 in a 6-point teaser to tease it over 7.5, I'll take that. But I will be rooting for my Lions, but I think the Chiefs win that game. So somebody tell Tony George now, so I ain't got to hear no shit on Doc's Daily tomorrow. I'm telling you on Monday, I think the Chiefs win that game. I'd be surprised if the Lions go into Arrowhead and win on Sunday night. I think it will be a close game, maybe come down to kickers, something like that. God-awful defenses take the over. There'll probably be 72,000 points scored in that game, but that's, where I'm at there. But let's talk some MLB tonight, because there's some I don't want to. And by the way, hold on real quick. The Chiefs are 6-3-1 against the spread. That's also what factored in against the Jacksonville Jaguars, like head-to-head the last 10. That kind of made me think of the Chiefs. So I'm not as public as maybe I think I am, but I think I am. It's publicly known, right? Yeah. Dodgers and the Phillies. Blake Snell, Jesus Luzardo on the mound. Game 1 or game 2, first game of tonight. That's a 6:08 Eastern time kickoff. First pitch. I'm on football mode. Anything you like in that game? You said you had something in the. Obviously, you're a Cubby fan. You're a homer. I know who you're on for the Cubs, Brewers. I mean, I knew Tigers were going to lose yesterday. I still bet the Tigers.
Of course. You look at both of these, though. You got the Dodgers and the Phillies, and then obviously Cubs and Brewers. These games tonight will determine the rest of the series here. If you go down 2-0 in a best set of 5, well, you better have a ticket ready to go to Cabo here very shortly, because the odds of you coming back. So both of these teams' seasons, this is a must-win game here, not only for the Phillies, but it is for the Cubs. You do not want to go down 2-0 in any spot here. And I'm looking at the price of the Phillies. Yeah, they got Blake Snell on the mound, but I don't believe he's obviously going all 9. He's looked great in his first appearance there, 7 innings. No runs in that one. He had 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. I like the Phillies here in a must-win situation with Luzardo on the mound. Blake Snell's been great. I like him full game. If you like the Dodgers in this one, obviously you could lay the run line, but I like the Dodgers in that first 5 just because of Blake Snell and how hard he is to get runs off of him. But I'm going towards this full game with this bullpen and the Dodgers. I think the Phillies need to produce runs. They know it. Their season's damn near on the line here. I like the Phillies, and the Phillies have all the value rolling into this one. Don't get so caught up on Blake Snell, his last performance in the playoffs, and obviously it's the Dodgers here. The Phillies are a great team. It's one of the hardest places to play in Philadelphia in playoff atmosphere mode here. So the environment plays a factor in this one too. So I like the Phillies here full game. I lean to the Dodgers in the first 5. You'll probably be tied. They might be up a run just because of Blake Snell and how hard he is to continuously get hits off of this guy. So I would lean towards the Phillies full game, and then obviously lean towards the Dodgers first 5.
I like that. I think this is, I mean, it's playoffs. They're all must-win kind of thing, but this is for real must-win for the Phillies in game 2. You do not want to go to LA down 0-2. Can't do that. You can't do that. So you got to come out here and unload. You get a travel day for rest, so that helps, but everybody's available. Everybody. The ball boy's available to take one for the team. Nick Menken's available to fly in if you need him to take one for the team. I mean, whatever you need, Philadelphia, you can't lose this game. I think the value is there, but also the Dodgers get a price tag just for being the Dodgers. They get public money for being the Dodgers just because they're the Dodgers, right? But I think everybody also thinks that the Phillies oh my God, you can't do that, whatever. But still, you're going to put a plus tag in front of that Phillies money line. I'm going to take it.
At home when they know they cannot lose to go.
I also like the over because I think both teams can score at 7.5 runs. I mean, maybe I'm just a baseball junkie in that aspect where I want 5-4 games every game in 10 innings. I want 5-4 walk-offs. You know what I mean? Or, that's what I want. So
100%. I lean towards the over on the night game. You obviously have Immunaga, and he's hit or miss, man. He obviously didn't start in the wild card in the first inning because his numbers have been so bad in the first inning throughout the whole regular season. So there was a reason why.
It's so nuts, though, that if you just take out the first inning of his stats, that dude's a Cy Young. I mean,
crazy. It is crazy.
For real.
And that's why he didn't start. And people were like, oh, I don't like that. What's Counsell doing? Well, he's clearly playing numbers here, guys. He's looking at what Immunaga does in the first inning and said, hey, we can't do that here in a wild card game. So now he's starting, and he will be out there in the first inning in this, like I said, is a must-win game. So I know there's going to be runs scored in this one. So I would lean towards that over 7.5 here in that later game between the Cubs and Brewers.
I don't hate both games over. I mean, they're both, you can find 7.5 at both, or 8. I see 8, unless you go offshore and go real obscure shit. Just buy the hooked up. But 8 you can get most places for the later game. I kind of lean team total for Milwaukee over. But to be fair, Milwaukee can't go up 2-0. Cubs don't. I mean, I get that the Cubs are coming back to Chicago for games 3 and 4, but do you really want to come back home and try and beat a rival anyway against the Brewers? You don't want to do that.
No, we have to. The Cubs have to win here tonight. You could see it in Craig Counsell. I wasn't happy about Matthew Boyd getting the start there off 3 days. I believe Matthew Boyd should have got the start today. And we're just short on the rotation, and you could see it. He's trying to do things that he hasn't done in the regular season. And right now, I hope it's going to come back and bite them in the ass here. We're just injury prone here on the pitching side of things, and you got to get through those first 4 to 5 innings. Those are the most important in playoff baseball. So you could see we're short on the starting pitching side of things here. But we'll just see what happens in this one. I hope Immunaga could come out strong in that first inning. Hold your breath in the first inning, even if you want to play the Yurfie. I think you got good odds here for that Yurfie and the Cubs, Milwaukee
hell,
Brewers there, if you like that one. I'm sure it's going to be plus money too. In the history,
it's about even money depending on where you're at. Shop your lines minus 105 to plus 105. So about even money. Shop your lines. I'm just saying.
I like it. I like the Yurfie, obviously, with the history of Imminaga and then the Cubs. The Cubs are going to come out here swinging. I like that, Daniel. You said team total over 3.5. I do believe so.
I'm on both team totals over 3.5. To be honest with you, full game over. I like the overs in both games tonight. Aces in the Mercury WNBA Finals. I see some people asking about that in the chat. Aces up 2-0. If you guys are living under a rock, Nick Menken's been dropping free pick videos on the WNBA for free. Okay, we're talking like 3, 4, 5 minute breakdowns of every game here for you guys. I know there's football on. It takes over Saturdays. It takes over Sundays. It takes over the weekend. Football is king. We all know that for content. But we're going to start NHL videos this week. In fact, there's already one up for tomorrow's game. Okay, we'll have NBA coming in a couple weeks on a daily. But WNBA, Nick Menken has kept us alive winning some money. What are your thoughts here on this series with the Aces? They're up 2-0.
Yeah,
the Mercury. I mean, they did what they're supposed to do. They won game 1 and 2 at home, which I don't know.
Mercury shot themselves in the foot. They should have never lost game 1.
Yes.
What hurt them, they were up at halftime. And then what hurt them was that fourth quarter. They scored 15 points there, while the Aces scored 22, and they won by 3 in that one. And then last night, or what was it? It was last night, wasn't it?
Sunday. Yeah,
Sunday.
Last night.
The Aces just completely ran away. They ran away with that. And they are averaging at home 83 points per game. And I'm all over those overs when they are at home. Obviously, we had the under in yesterday's free play video, and I believe that did cash. Because the odds makers after game 1 realized that, hey, Vegas obviously scores here at home, and the Phoenix Mercury, in order for them to compete in those games, they have to score points on the road, and that's exactly what they did, especially in that first game. But now it's going back to Phoenix here, and that over-under sitting at 163.5. Well, Vegas doesn't average 83 points here on the road. And what Phoenix Mercury does very well is they defend, especially at home. I believe they only allow opponents to, I believe it was 78 points per game. That's very good throughout the whole season. I like this under. I think it's going to be a defensive match, and the Phoenix Mercury know that they don't have to necessarily push the pace as if they were on the road in Vegas here. So I do like this under 163.5 early line. Obviously, this game is for Wednesday, I believe so. So Wednesday, we're off tomorrow, but
Wednesday,
this game for Wednesday.
Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And shop your lines because there are 164s out there. Okay. And me, I'm always going to want the even number to put the push in my back pocket, especially if it's a half point up. So, and you're playing an under. So, so there you go. Nick Menken dropping a lot of free information for you guys on the WNBA.
WNBA has been bread and butter. If you guys haven't already, I will have a top play on this game. So make sure.
There you go.
Plug, so let's get it.
There you go. We'll get after that. Look for Nick's top play coming Wednesday on the side there. There'll be, but early look on the total there. So some information there. That's about all I got going on today. There's a small slate today, obviously. 2 baseball games and the Monday night game. Preparing for hockey. Let me tell you guys, because we teased it a little earlier. Me and Nick have been. I should have did a poll. I'll do a poll. Yeah. I'll do a poll in the chat. Nick, when you back on Doc's Daily? Wednesday. We'll do a poll in the chat on Wednesday. Couple names we're kicking around here. For we're gonna do an NHL. Kind of a rapid, if you're familiar with our free pick videos, Nick and Craig do a MLB, or we're doing an MLB rapid fire now that the regular season's end. Meaning they'll go over like 5 games back and forth, what they like, what they don't like, side total prop, this, that, or whatever. I'll pick from those, say 5 or so games. Me and Nick are going to do that in an NHL format twice a week. We're going to try and do that on days when, like, we'll record Friday for, big days. So, like, we'll record Friday, drop that for Friday night for you have all day Saturday. It's a game of what we like, don't like, this, that, or whatever. And it'll be interactive. You'll have to play along in the chat. It'll be pre-recorded. We'll drop it. You got to compete too. So we'll give you the 5 games. You give the best plays on there. We'll go from there. A couple names. I'm just going to tell you, this is how much we've been thinking about this. We've narrowed it down for the last couple weeks to a couple names. Puck line profits. I don't kind of like that. Ice cold locks.
Ice cold locks.
I mean, that just feels like you want to throw a dice after you say it. I got some ice cold locks.
Who wants them?
Who wants them, right? Who wants them? Ice cold locks over here. What was that? Damn it, I forgot the other. Oh, the ice report.
Ice report.
Frozen funds. Cold cash on the ice. Power play profits. I think. What's the other one? Penalty box picks. I kind of like
penalty
that.
Box picks.
I don't hate penalty box picks, but ice cold locks over here. I just feel like I'm selling beers.
$5.
I got peanuts over here. You know, I'm selling beers at a stadium somewhere. You know, Bud Light over here. You know, 2 for $5. Ice cold locks over here. I gotta get a soundbite like that. So be on the lookout for that for some ice cold locks on from Nick and I during the NHL season. So we're looking to bring that. Also, Nick, check out weekly Fridays. Nick and Tony George are doing a prop show, NFL prop show that drops on Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern. I do math in my head. 3 p.m. Eastern. That drops, and that's NFL prop show. That was last week. They did one first week for you for NFL, so that should be a very nice show as well. To check and look out for that as well. Nick Menken, we're going to jump on out of here. Appreciate you stopping by. Good luck, unless you're against us. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, folks.